like to welcome everybody back to the Battle Road Scenic Byway Committee meeting. Today is Thursday, August 24th. This is a Zoom meeting and the meeting is being recorded. I'm Nancy Nelson, the current chair, and my iPhone says it's 10:01 and I'm calling the meeting to order. So roll call of members. We can start with that. Arlington is here, yeah, and Lexington, not here yet, but I know Richard's coming, and Lincoln is here, and Concord is here, and the National Park is not able to come today. So we can move along. First of all, I'll say this, and from the bottom of my heart, I have been terrible with minutes, absolutely unforgivable. And I'm trying to get things straightened out. And Anne has identified gaps that she has, but I think some towns have either drafts or maybe approved with corrections minutes. So I'll be in touch with Sheila and Jennifer, and Anne and I'll circle back. We'll see if we can round up any minutes that are further along. I think I don't have all of them. We at least have started recordings, so it can go back. I can go back and look at recordings, but I really apologize for that and working to straighten it out. Also working to put together key administrative documents that show the history and the evolution of the Battle Road Scenic Byway Committee going back to when Clarissa and Richard and actually myself were original founding members, but there's information, a lot of information that I think members would be very interested in having. And also, I've been in touch with MAPC. Well, I won't, I'll put that under, well, no, I'll say it. MAPC has many more copies of the corridor management plan. So I don't know if all the towns know where their copy is anymore, but we'll be able to help towns out that don't have easy access to the corridor management plan anymore. So if there are any corrections, I already got one correction to the minutes. July 27th. Did anybody notice any omissions? And if so, I'll make those corrections and we can get those finalized and posted. Nope, hearing nothing. Going. Okay, thank you. That's that. Josh, do you have updates for us today?
Yeah, actually was able to get a little bit of an update from the construction team on the bridge project.
Yeah.
So baseline and wetland delineation survey is ongoing. Next week, the job trailer will show up. They're going to do sign package and installation, and possibly some clearing and or grubbing later in the week. And then erosion controls are going to be installed after tree clearing, but before any earth is disturbed.
Okay. So that'll be happening on both sides of 128, probably.
Not sure for sure, but
okay, well, wait and see.
Check if you'd like.
No, that's all right. All things will be known soon.
And you asked about a completion date. The completion date that I see in the system is 10/8/27.
Wow.
But I think those often are kind of in flux as the project continues.
So 10 of 2027, October 2027. Okay, good luck to those guys who are arranging for traffic management and alternatives. Is that a big issue? Do you think that's going to be a big issue?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I imagine so. It's pretty interesting. Okay. All right. And Route 2A, I think I think all the towns probably know and are aware of the separation of the project into maintenance project to address urgent safety concerns and the federal aid. Is that, do you have anything to add to that? And maybe there's questions from the members here.
I don't.
Okay. Um, well, Arlington may not have received notice on this, but I think Lincoln and definitely Lexington did. So, Andrew, have you seen that package?
I haven't seen it yet, Nancy. That
I think it's just addressing immediate safety concerns, areas where there's drop-offs in the pavement. And they'd be filling those back in. There's some repaving from one of Noah Brooks's fields. I was having trouble seeing the stations. And so from a field at Noah Brooks to Sunnyside is mostly full paving, full road paving. But in other places, there's spot patching and reinforcement of eroded shoulders, either with loam and seed or a sandy color gravel. And at the wetland that's in Lincoln, that was on the plans, but Mass DOT seems to be very aware that there's an issue that's not going to happen this season because they need to go to Lincoln Concom. So they do know that.
Thank you.
So thanks, Josh. Anything else? What else are you guys doing over there? Busy.
Yeah, that's it for updates for me, but I'm happy to, if you guys have anything you want me to take back to the teams who are working on those projects and get back to, I'm happy to.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's Richard just joined us. Okay. Hi, Richard. Good to see you. I knew you were coming.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Had just
Okay.
trouble logging in.
Oh.
So with this maintenance project, I mean, the speed limit is still 40 miles an hour, which according to MassDOT means that it's not safe to bike. And I'm just trying to get a better sense of some of the safety concerns and how does MassDOT with this maintenance project figure out about bike and pedestrian access on the road.
Did you read the package that Jeffrey Shrimpton submitted to the SHPO and then copied the towns? A lot of those questions are.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really understood that particular thing.
Okay. If Josh wants to talk about that's fine. Otherwise, I could talk to you offline.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been out there and there have been some modifications that make it a little more clear. Some things in the plans were more general rather than literal.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be involved in that conversation. I think honestly, it sounds like Nancy knows more about the design than I do. I mean, part of the slight disconnect is in planning, where where I sit in the district, we tend to be working with the projects at the very early stage of their development with the municipalities, and so then once it kind of gets to a later stage of design, I'm trying to get updates from folks who are working on it, but I don't necessarily have as.
You mean once it gets down in the weeds, you mean literally?
Yes, it sounds like there's some literal weeds to deal with on these projects as well. Some grubbing. I assume that's a major part of grubbing.
Yeah. And yeah, so, but I think there have been some clarifications and some modifications, but I don't think we want to go through the whole.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, I mean, don't hesitate to let me know if you want me to,
clarify
some questions back to others, and I'm happy to get those to you.
Okay, will do. Thank you. Okay, that's that. Byway signage. Richard, you arrived just in time.
Yeah. So I haven't done anything further because I haven't gotten approval from the committee to go forward because to do the signage is going to cost us probably 80 to 100,000. And part of the question is the grant program for Scenic Byways hasn't been advertised yet.
Right.
And, so the source of money is a question. And without understanding how we would pay for it, I just wanted to get a sense from the committee in terms of what I could or should be doing regarding signage and talking to the towns about it.
You
So
mean contact me?
I haven't pursued anything further than what I had reported last meeting.
Okay.
I didn't want to move ahead of the committee.
Is it the sense of the committee that the towns will probably not have budgeted and may or may not budget in the future for these signs, and that our best shot might be the grant if it's ever, when and if it's announced?
Right, the grant, or if there is some of the 250 money that becomes available.
Yeah, and I think the towns have already gotten what they're gonna get so far. Is that correct? I'm not sure. I think some of that money's been received and spent.
Right.
Probably.
At least that's true for Concord. I'm not right now. I mean, we know Senator Barrett's bill is working its way, but how much will come additional to each of the communities has not been made clear yet. So
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Mike Barrett about the possibility of him figuring out how we might get some money directly.
Are you gonna coordinate that through your town then? Or, I don't know if you're planning on speaking on behalf of the Byway Committee when you're talking to Senator Barrett, or if you're just talking in general about how could Lexington fund signs? And maybe
Well, that's
beyond Lexington.
part of the reason why I have not done anything, because without a go-ahead from the committee, I'm reluctant to talk to Mike at all.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there feeling on the committee about that? I would hate, it looks like Andrew, looks like you have a thought.
Well, I don't think it hurts to talk to Senator Barrett about whether additional monies are available or might become directly available.
And have we lost George?
No, I'm ready.
Oh, there you are. I don't see you on my screen for
Yeah.
some. Okay, good to see you.
I'm part of a financial subcommittee on the Menotomy 250 committee, and one of the members, Marlene Silva, has apparently been talking to Senator Barrett, and her impression was that the 250 money is going to states that are further south. Federal 250 money are going to states further south, like Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and that we may have a better shot at monies in next year's federal budget. So
What about the state budget?
I don't know
Okay.
more about that.
Well, Beth, do you see any problem in just general conversation with Senator Barrett?
I can't see why it would hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think I have enough direction to. I'm not going to commit anything for the committee until I report back.
Yeah.
But just to inquire in terms of what might be possible or not possible.
Okay. Do you want to vote on that, or is it good enough? Do we have a sense of the meeting? I
think you probably need a motion.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Okay, do you want to make one?
Sure. I motion that Richard can have a preliminary conversation with Senator Barrett about potential additional funds for the byway for signage.
Okay. Preliminary conversation with Senator Barrett on the possibility of additional funding for signage for the Byway Committee. Good?
Yep, we
Okay,
need a second.
is there a second?
George.
Second,
George,
Was that George? Yeah, okay. Okay, and Arlington then? Votes? Aye, I take that for aye. And Lexington, I vote, I
Yes.
take it yes, and Lincoln,
I,
okay. All in favor, okay. Okay, good luck. Thank you, Richard.
Okay.
250th activities, I know Concord is very busy, but let's start with Arlington and see, maybe we'll go that way.
okay, Arlington is having its next 250th meeting next Wednesday, the 30th. We had one earlier in August, and we're still very much in the planning stages. We do have about $50,000, 25,000 from the town budget, and another 25,000 that Sean Gabali was able to round up from the state. So with that, we will start moving, I hope.
Well, that's good. Be interesting to know how you finagled that 25 from the state. That's okay. Arlington, Lexington. I know your
So
work in the center continues, but anyway,
So next August 29th, there's going to be a community stakeholder meeting to talk about potential development of a memorial to be unveiled as part of the 250 celebration. So things are moving along slowly, but they're moving along.
would that go on the green probably?
So it's a virtual meeting. And August 29th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. I can send this out to the group.
Okay. But is the memorial being discussed to be on the green, I presume? Oh, we don't know. Oh, don't know.
Or close by, or who knows.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine.
Probably not on the green.
You want to talk about the progress of the work in the center?
Yeah, so the reconfiguration around the battle green is occurring, and which is going to include a roundabout at Harrington Road and Bedford Street, and some other modifications on all three sides of the battle green, and that's ongoing, and it hopefully will be completed soon.
Yeah, it looks like there's so much work going on there. And now with the bridge replacement, that's going to be really interesting,
Yep.
trying to get back and forth to Lexington.
Yeah, I mean, the bridge replacement should have occurred in 2016, and
Right, I remember.
for a number of reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Lincoln, 250th update?
just to say that our committee has been meeting over the summer and is planning series of community outreach over the course of the fall to gather ideas about how Lincoln wants to help celebrate. So more details to come as people return from summer breaks.
Good. So I'm busy writing notes because once again, I forgot to ask somebody else to do the minutes. So I won't, so I'm hopeless on this and I know it and I'm sorry, but that's just the way it goes. And I'm really sorry for me. Okay, and Concord, I hear more about Concord and I see people walking all over the site between the rectory and the Rotary Memorial. So Beth, what do you know about what's going on?
So that parcel, which is number 1693, and I'll never forget it. It is the spot where the former Middlesex Hotel and jail site were. So that is the site that the Monuments Committee is looking at. They have architects hired, Shishaki. They have done one public meeting and Do you know that name, Nancy? You probably do.
They hired Sasaki?
Yes.
Wow, that's the name.
Yep. So
Where'd they get the money?
uh,
Oh, that's from the state money that.
yeah, so the town got the 200,000 that we all got, plus an additional 500,000 was given by the town manager from ARPA funds. So that money came out of that to hire the architects. And they have a series of public meetings that'll be coming up in the fall. They've met with stakeholders. So they've met with, Public Works, because there's water lines and all kinds of things there. So that project is underway, and complementing that is we were the benefit of an MAPC grant for public art. So that's a temporary installation that's funded by NEFA, the New England Foundation for the Arts. So there's 3 of us, Mimi Graney, myself, and Donna McIntosh took the course, and our call for public art is going to go out the fall for that location, which is really exciting. We're looking at it. It'll be temporary, and it'll sort of dip the toes in the water for what might become a permanent location for a memorial. So that's really exciting. And then our 250 sponsored podcast will launch this fall. The Robbins House is the first one. It's being produced by Freedom's Way, and it's called Revolutionary Stories. And that will launch really soon, and it's a pretty exciting project to bring those invisible stories forward. And then the last thing, we just launched a new tour of the National Guard Armory, which is on Everett Street. You'd never know it's there. It's across from Emerson Field. The National, right, Nancy? You don't know it's there. So we partnered with the National Guard and Joe Palumbo on my staff, worked with them on a tour, and we're offering it 6 dates, 3 in September, 3 in October. And then they're going to try to have some public open houses as well. And the tours went on sale a week ago, and it's already half sold out. There's definitely an interest for what's in there. It's the National Guard Museum, for lack of a better word. It has a lot of really interesting artifacts from all of the years of the National Guard. So that is a 250 event. And then I know the executive committee meets tonight. And then our next step for the marketing committee, which I sit on, is swag. So
Is what?
swag, t-shirts, hats, tchotchkes. So that's coming next, and we'll start to the goal is to work with the greater retail community and try to come up with a bulk order of select items that people want to carry, to try to take the burden off the individual businesses, while making sure that every business that wants to carry something can have a branded product to sell, and spread the wealth, so to speak. So the Colonial Inn might carry one thing, some of the gift shops might carry another, the restaurants might carry something. So that's next. And
So not much going on.
No, that's not much.
And I want to add something about the armory. This is an amazing facility that has a lot of potential for many, many things. And one of the things that's really fun about the Concord's National Guard Armory is that when the New England Patriots were newly formed, they practiced in the field across the street from the armory, and the National Guard built them a shower room.
No way.
Downstairs in the basement, and it still exists. It's really fun. They'll probably never showcase it, but it's just really a fun.
Do you have anything written on that? I'd love to know, because then we can
Colonel Love would definitely. You would have it.
All right, he's been great to work with, so I'm gonna find that story. That's a great one for visitors.
Yeah, it is great. Richard looked like he knew about that. Did you?
That's a great one. I love stories like that. It's fantastic.
I do too. Okay, where are we? Does anybody else? That's it. The park's not here, so that's it for updates on the 250th. So we're back. The next item was an update on the Battle Road Scenic Byway website, and Richard and I have been searching out where it is, what it is, how it works, who runs it, and Thanks to initial information from Ally and then subsequent sleuthing, we finally had a meeting earlier this week with Al Very, who is the host still, and a representative from Selbert Perkins, where he's now working full-time, although also maintaining his own business. And so we're working, Richard knows more about the website than I think anybody at this point. And we're working to restore access to the site, and I'll be in touch with Arlington's senior planner soon to just touch base and try to coordinate what we know and where we go from here with it. We anticipate that the byway will have need for some updates. So Richard had also found some other information on the, well, I'll let you go, Richard.
Yeah, so we have the website, and it's registered under both battleroadbyway.org and battleroadbyway.com, and it was registered through UDaddy through the town of Arlington, and that needs to be renewed next year, probably minimal cost. But the other part is Kathy Santos, who is the Lexington webmaster, was pretty instrumental in terms of helping Al get our website, because we had to incorporate stuff from the MAPC website, and finally got it working. I think the decision was made in 2018 that we had contracted with Selbert Perkins to design the website, and Al was working for them at the time. Selbert Perkins doesn't host, and I think at the time we were trying to figure out, because we were transferring stuff from Lexington to Arlington because Clarissa became chair, and it was sort of determined, I think by the committee, a committee vote, and I can look it up in the minutes, that we would hire Al Avery, Avery Design, to host it, and so he is hosting it, and the cost of it currently is, I think, $79 or $89 per quarter, and I think Arlington has been taking up paying that. It's a minimal cost. So one of the things is that we haven't updated the website. It is in WordPress, and so if anybody here is good at WordPress or knows somebody who's good at WordPress, we probably should have a couple of people from our end to sort of look at it. We may need, it may be advisable that we might wish to have Al look at what we might wish to change. I think we need to add in the fact that we're a federal byway, and that some things about the 250th.
And an all-American road.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so I think the alert is that, this may cost fairly minimal amounts. I think he charges $100 and something an hour, but I think what we want to do is, if we have anybody who is familiar with WordPress, that's great. If not, we should look at the website and sort of figure out. I think the basic structure of the website is sound. I think all that we need to do is to add stuff about the All-America Road status and anything on the 250th. But just as a warning that we may be spending a fairly minimal amount, but I think the Byway Committee needs to approve that at some point and figure out how we're going to pay for it.
I think that's a really good thing that seems manageable.
Yeah.
Towns, Arlington has been shouldering this burden for a while of cost. It's not huge, but it is necessary. So we can maybe we can go back to our towns and see what folks think about that, and give the budgeters a heads up about that. It seems to me like in most towns that would be something in a discretionary category that could be easily directed towards those changes. That's my assumption, but I haven't
Yeah.
talked to any budget people, so.
So if any members are familiar with WordPress or websites at all, contact me, or if you know somebody who might be willing to voluntarily work on it to look at what we might want to do, I can do an update at our next meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Richard. Thanks for ringing those bells.
Okay.
Yeah. I know nothing about the technical aspects of the website, so I'd re-emphasize what Richard said about if anybody knows people who have that skill set, be great to know about it. Okay. Any comments on any thoughts? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the vacancy of the vice chair, and we should probably elect or have somebody volunteer to be the vice chair. I think maybe with this group we can wait until we have a bigger gathering. I don't know what other people think, but Andrew, it was Bob. So we might be wondering, if anybody else feels they want to be. I don't think the job description is onerous for the vice chair. So anyway, if no one objects, we'll defer that to a bigger meeting, the next meeting maybe. Okay. If there are any member updates that haven't been covered in the 250th, we could start with Arlington again if you've got anything to add, George. The last beer garden event maybe.
Okay, the last beer garden is going to be the end of September.
Yeah.
But there's a beer garden this Saturday, and yours truly will be one of the bathroom monitors. So please come by and get a glass of beer. We did have one issue a couple of weeks ago with sound levels. Someone in town complained, or someone at the event complained that the music was too loud. So we went and looked at getting a sound meter, and did get a sound meter. And we're monitoring the sound levels at the property line, and town bylaws says they can be as loud as 85 decibels, which is about a motorcycle going by, which is fairly typical on Mass Ave anyway. So
Yeah.
have to be. The other issue that we had was we have a license from the town of Arlington to serve alcohol. That does not include people bringing their own alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
So we've had to be the bad cop and enforce that and tell people they can't bring their own food or beer or alcohol to the event. But other than that, it's been going quite well.
And can people bring a picnic?
I'm sorry?
Can people bring a picnic?
Yeah, I
Or
don't think
snacks.
that's a problem.
Yeah, okay.
Bringing big boxes of pizzas is a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Does Lexington have anything else?
The only thing is, so on the byway, the police station construction is moving along. And in the town conscious area where we have the farmers market, the big controversy is the town wants to have a number of solar panels over some parking. And part of the question is what's appropriate, and the Historic District Commission and neighbors and folks have been sort of wrestling with that. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else to report on.
That's interesting. You guys are part of the MBTA communities, right?
Yeah.
And so's Lincoln. Yeah, and so those conversations are ongoing probably in Lexington.
Yeah.
And anything else? If not, Lincoln, we can segue to Lincoln on what else is happening. It's quiet in Lincoln in August.
And we are having very active planning for bringing rezoning under the Housing Choice Act to vote in our March town meeting. So that's an ongoing discussion that we're having with a lot of community outreach. It's probably going to be focused at our train station area where our small commercial center is, with some possibility of rezoning at the Battle Road Farm development, which is north of Route 2A.
Oh, yeah, it's by Lincoln North, right?
Correct.
So the one thing that's interesting, so Lexington obviously passed our housing rezoning, and one of the big issues that we had at town meeting was, what about Lexington Center? Because obviously that's our business district, and the idea is to have upper story be the housing. And up until last week, you couldn't do that. And so we were prepared to say in Lexington Center, we wanted to allow, obviously, housing in the center, but it couldn't be counted as one of these zones because we wanted to ensure that we had viable commercial on the first floor. And so I think partly because of that, I think there have been some changes, and I mean, it just seems so stupid that most of what we want for housing should be in town centers, but if we want to require the businesses to support that housing, you couldn't count it. So it'll be interesting to see how other towns address this moving forward.
We're
It's been
starting.
a topic here too, and we're really happy for the change as well, for the same reason. We want those vibrant businesses on the bottom floor generating economic vitality.
And it's there's a perfect model for that in West Concord. Main Street. So that's mysterious. There was a big meeting in Concord yesterday about the MBTA communities. I did not attend that. Did you tune into that, Beth?
No, I
Okay.
didn't, but
Yeah.
I know they had another public forum.
In Concord, in my experience, the planning board has undertaken one of the most comprehensive public engagement efforts that I've ever seen, with coffees at local, Starbucks and Cafe Nero and Neshoba Brooks. So, boy, they have been really busy and appearing before different committees and all kinds of venues. So it's we'll see how that goes. And that's a big one. Okay. Member updates. I think that's it. I know planning and land management, Marcia Rasmussen. I think many of you may have known her outside of Concord because she had been with the town for some 30 years, and she has retired. The new assistant town manager is filling that position for 6 months, right, Beth? And also planning is particularly short-staffed right now. And I know that efforts are underway to fill critical staffing positions, but boy, it's tough. So that's that. We don't have anybody. Josh, do you have anything you want to say? We're at public comment. Oh, wait, no, wait. Can we tentatively plan on the next meeting being September 28th? That's a Thursday at 10 o'clock. And I'd like some guidance on whether or not we should have that meeting if we don't have any other business. If there's no grant, if we don't have any information on the grant and we don't have any other pressing business, should we skip that meeting? Any thoughts?
If we don't have anything relevant, then I would say skip it and maybe go to the next month, or if something comes up, we could always add it. But I think until we have some big topic, it doesn't really make sense to meet.
I
Okay,
agree.
who said what?
George, Arlington, I agree. If there isn't
Okay.
anything substantive to discuss, no need for a meeting.
Yeah, okay. Andrew?
That sounds fine to me as well. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and I agree too. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your head then, that if something something urgent comes up, we'll shoot for September 28th. If that's not the right date, we'll be in touch as soon as we have an idea what we're doing. Okay, if Josh doesn't have anything else to say, I think we can declare the meeting over. And it's 10.
Nancy, can I speak now? Jane Herlocker?
I did not see you. Yes, you
Well,
may.
I'm the blob somewhere along with Bob.
Oh, there you are. Yes,
Yeah.
Jane.
A very good inmate meeting. Now, I haven't checked in with Jennifer Curtin to get that federal highway letter, but I also wanted to know that these plans that you've been talking about, I'm not sure what they are. Can I get a copy of them?
Are you talking about what we were just going over, the MBTA communities?
No, the 2A.
Or
No, no.
the 2A maintenance?
Yes, yes, I would like to
Yeah.
see that plan.
I can forward to you what we received. It was a fairly constrained distribution list, I will say that. So I'll send it to you,
Yes, I would like to see that.
yeah, okay.
And I'll send you a offline something about the 100% plans too.
Oh, that would be good, because the 100% plans have been separated from the immediate safety and maintenance issues.
Right,
So that 106 meeting, as you know, probably know, hopefully know, was postponed, and
right. And you
yeah.
see, I need to get that letter, but
but it well
I just haven't. What?
did you get the letter from Cassandra Ostrander that was postponed?
No, I was supposed to get it from Jennifer Curtin. If you can get it, then you can send me two things.
Okay, okay.
But I also wanted to talk offline with you about the 100% plans.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'll be back in touch. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see you. I don't know why. Usually I see everybody that's in the meeting, and for a while.
Did you see Bob?
Yep. I think Bob has dropped off.
Oh,
'Cause he
Bob was
Bob
on.
too.
He was on a little bit earlier.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was. Oh,
Yes,
I didn't see him. That's weird. I usually can see everybody.
yeah. Well, it's all right. We'll talk, he and I will speak up if we want to.
Yes.
But I like the way you run the meetings with us at the comments at the end. So I take notes and then
Yeah,
and I'm missing these beer garden things. What time are they in Arlington? When are they?
George, Jane's asking about the time for the beer garden.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Beer garden starts at 2 o'clock and runs until 7 PM or twilight, whichever comes first.
On Sundays?
On
Two Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh,
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. I'll
Okay.
try to catch up with one. Thank you.
I've
Okay.
only been to one, and it was really fun.
Yeah, Nancy gave rave reviews, so I want to try it too.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Sure, bye-bye.
Yes.